Hey, how's it going? Welcome back to these 360 and immersive render hangouts. I'm just kind of joining me in the process of figuring out making a kind of FPV drone video. It's been really fun so far, and we're just trying to push it further, really. So last week it kind of left off at this point where we were making this kind of VHS look to the video. I thought I'd recap the sort of main goal of this kind of thing because we're kind of deep in the process here. It'd be interesting to just check in on what the kind of goals are. Um, so yeah, essentially we've got the 360 camera, and I'm just trying to explore making some really interesting immersive content with it. The video I want to make is uh, using this kind of immersive format, um, the kind of 360 format, uh, outputting to maybe a headset or a dome. I think I've just set my camera to not be hidden in game. Let's see, just turn that off here. Yeah, there we go. Very much hidden in game, and then visible. Interesting. There we go. Yeah, so it's like, what if we had these kind of cool immersive drone videos, or these cool drone videos, but in a 360 kind of context. And I just thought it'd be fun as a kind of exercise to try and recreate this kind of content in Unreal. So what I want to do is, what I'm using is this H.E.L.I.O.S plugin, and it's really cool it's like the best drone plugin out there for sure. Uh, yeah, because it's got really realistic kind of flight. I'll just show you the drone plugin again. Yeah, this is the one. And I just showed a bit of using it last week. I've been doing some practice, so can fly a bit more smoothly with this. Um, yeah, and then there's sort of these kind of, what I find kind of interesting is these kind of cheapy little FPV drones. Because, I mean, they have a bit of a backrooms feel because of these really cheap cameras that they've put on top, these kind of analog streaming cameras. So I just feel like this is kind of a fun thing to try and make. I do want to think about like, how the motion feel. There is a lot of motion going on. So it's like, will the headset be able to handle it? Will viewing it not be nauseating? But I just think using tape recorder and this kind of drone technique to make a bit of a video is kind of interesting, just to kind of see where we can push it to. I think what's really useful is that we can stream out this video feed in real time, so we can, or I guess what's more realistic is to make a take, and then view it in sequencer with pretty quick kind of feedback, instead of actually flying this around at this resolution because the frame rate is just going to be too low. So we can play it in like sequencer, which is still really nice. Still don't have to render it, and then we can like stream it out to a headset. Then maybe we can get an idea of what the motion's like fairly early on. so we know whether this is a really bad idea or not. So what I have been working on is trying to get Take Recorder working with this drone, but I've not had loads of luck this time. So I think what I'm going to do is just try and take a really nice take. What I found that's really useful is that you can actually. So sorry, I've run out of USBs on my computer, so I just had the drone, and then I need to unplug my keyboard to fly it. But I do want to use the controller, so. But yeah, what's really interesting with Tape Recorder actually is you can, once you've pressed play, you can actually grab the player as a source. So I didn't know that at all. I guess because this has been spawned, you could just like grab it here as well. I think that'll probably work. So I think that's really cool. So yeah, I'm gonna swap over my keyboard. And press record, move that to the side. So yeah, I might just have a couple goes of trying to take a good take. Oh, let's see. Let me just turn this on. Yeah, nice. So yeah, some things I've learned about this flying, still not very good at it, is that it is less about hitting the accelerator all the time. It's more about working on the roll and the banking. So like one way to slow down is actually to pull up and accelerate because it's always sort of based on where the fans are. So I think that's kind of interesting. So yeah, I'm kind of learning. So looking a lot better than last week for sure. Um, yeah, still figuring it out. But yeah, I think what's interesting is yeah, as I say, we can't get the rotation working this time. I mean, I could still try and bang my head against it, but I don't think that'd be that fun to watch. But I mean, it would be great to have any feedback on like, is it interesting to see me trying to figure out stuff on the stream? I kind of feel like I should at least have some info for you pre-stream, which, a lot of the time we can do, but this kind of drone exercise I've been doing has been a lot of just working it out on the fly. When there's sort of yeah, when it's a bit more of a figuring out stages. So yeah, I don't know. If anyone is feeding back on this, is it cool to have me just banging my head against blueprints? Let me know what's interesting. What's useful. So yeah, I think what's cool is to like try and do a bit of this and then iron out some of the curves and things in Tape Recorder. But yeah, as I said, I do need to figure out. I really like these beams though for learning this stuff. But yeah, let us know what you want to see. Is it like technical tips, which there will be a few more of. We've got a few updates to the plugin coming soon. Some really cool stuff. So we'll be sharing some more just straight technical stuff. But while we're in this kind of more creative stage, is it cool to see blueprint stuff? Is it cool to see level building? Is it cool to see the kind of shader work? Let me know. Oh. Yeah, this kind of thing of like just oh, don't get too well. Pushing forward and bank back and accelerate. It's quite cool. I also found it's very helpful to switch over the controls from this one to look. That's not the default. It's like left analog stick is look around. And then right analog stick is accelerate. I think that's just a bit more like, I think that's the second layout. Yeah, mode 2. That is just a bit more like most video games and things. So I like that one. Yeah, I'm not quite like as good as. Of course, it's going to take loads of practice to get good. But the kind of good thing about this tape recorder is that you can um, smooth out some of these things. Yeah, the idea is to have it quite, I don't know, just see what you can get away with motion. I feel like the crashing into stuff is going to be pretty nasty for viewing. I think you can kind of get away with more in a dome than on a headset as well. So there's that. But like that, I would not have been able to do couple weeks ago. Oh, so I think the camera work will get kind of smoother. And it might feel a bit more like something that might make quite a cool immersive video. Yeah, it's definitely this thing of like forwards is not forwards, like tilting forwards is what you want to use for forwards. And I think, that kind of forwards tilt is actually going to add a bit of inertia in the viewer. I think that might actually be part of what's kind of appealing to me about this. It's like as it gets like that, those kind of movements, drone footage is kind of really interesting. Yeah. So yeah, let's see. There's a pretty big long take there, but yeah, save down here. And yeah, we do have that. But the thing is, I've actually got no movement there. Oh, maybe that was me not actually using the player this time. Interesting. Well, yeah, essentially, that's kind of the update. I'm going to see, um, if I can get this tape recorder working a bit better. But, uh, I guess one useful tip here is that, let's just do it again quickly to make sure got it working the way I think so. So we got this. That's weird that I can see that there. Is that just this one? Maybe. Okay, and then yeah, you can go player. And then just switching over controller. Then record. Yep. And browse to. Yeah, this one looks like it's got some more movement. It's cool. But yeah, going on here, it only looks one direction. So yeah, that's something I want to figure out next time. Kind of strange. But yeah, if we can get that sussed. I did try a few things like making a blueprint, follow it on tick, and then using that in tape recorder, but still no rotation. But yeah, I'll try to get that sussed for next week, and then yeah, also might think about trying to share some other stuff. But what else I wanted to do in this session was just work on this post process a little bit more. Just to try to get the VHSy look a bit better. VHS look. So I had one material that took on some video. Yeah, overlay video. And then we should have a texture parameter somewhere. Yeah. So I made a bit of a better overlay. I just went on archive.org. Just found like some of these kind of static videos. Thought what could be quite cool is if one of these plays when you bump into stuff, and then another sort of subtle one plays over everything. Kind of want to load up one of these. So I've got 3 here to look at. Yeah, these kind of more subtle ones I think work pretty well. And these are just like screen overlaid over the top of post-process input. So screen overlay works pretty well, I think, because you just get the kind of white and hopefully some color. That color doesn't pick up that well. Would love to see if we could get this color kind of picking up. Yeah, I would have thought screen would do that. So it's like everything except black. There is a bit. So we can like multiply that. Would that help? H.O.K. Yeah, no, this is the idea. Trying to replicate the little analog FPV drones. Um, I haven't flown any, no, but judging by the amount I'm crashing in this is quite a good thing to start with actually, because you can try it out before you crash a lot. But I want to try and replicate like this look. It's just like the crustiness is awesome. Oh, nice. That's really cool. Yeah, I didn't know anything about this. I just saw like a Instagram post and I was just like, oh, the fact that it's using the old analog camera and like or like old school camera and like this overlay, it's kind of like backrooms drone. I was like, that's awesome. I don't know how I would do this kind of color stuff. I even tried getting Gemini to write me a H.L.S.L code shader so I could like put that into here. But like I just learned that Gemini knew nothing about Unreal's H.L.S.L basically. So it was that. But yeah, I've just been messing around with a post-process shader that kind of looks a bit like it. But I'd love to get it really decent. Flying through the glitch, yeah, exactly. Yeah, I would love the colors to pick up a bit more from this, but I guess I could look at it in After Effects. Like, what do you do to? But yeah, I've got this Helios drone plugin, which is super cool. It's like actually quite close, feels quite close to what the FPV drone controls would be like. So I've been using that. I kind of want to hit like just make a little trigger box that would whenever you fly into anything, it would do a more play a more intense glitch effect as well. So I was just trying to work that out in this session as well. Pretty cool. So yeah, what blend modes would work? So there's a way to show the blend mode. Let's just see visually which worked the best. So yeah, that I really like 'cause it's actually discoloring what's underneath it. What's that? Oh, difference. Okay, that's quite a normal blend mode. That's cool too. I think this is. Oh, that's hue. Okay. Yeah, hue's kind of a good point actually. 'Cause it's like wherever color is happening, it's changing hue. So to put the hue, well, let's see if we got difference. We can try out difference. Uh, so we could have that one, and we could also have a difference as well. Or if we use another media player. Oh, that'd be super fun. Yeah. Yeah, they're not even too expensive. The fact that they're like 100 quid makes me. I guess maybe the goggles are an extra cost, aren't they? But does make me want to try one out for sure. Be really cool. Media player one. And we use that one for just the coloration. And media player. This one. Maybe just that. Oh yeah, let's do this. Okay. And then this one can use media player one. I need another texture. Is that right? How do you tell it what texture to go to without just creating it from scratch again? Mm, um, oh, here we go. I just had it all hidden on the side. Nice. Okay, cool. So we got the two. So PP1 is the one where I want the hue. Anything cool you're working on at the moment? Okay. I guess that's the base. So the same texture. No, not the same. Okay. Still not really picking up on that color very much. Is that what you're doing? Or is that what I'm what I'm doing? Trying to record the biggest and best motion. Sounds good. What was that other one? Difference hue. So input would be here. Oh, cool. Yeah, got you. Well, there's always this plugin. Do you want to see my drone flying skills so far? I've only tried this out for a couple hours. Well, maybe probably not even. That's not bad though. That hue is actually hue shifting. Quite like that. I might try like multiply that out or something. Quite like that overlay. I need to open the media on begin play, don't I? What is it? Media player. Open media. What was it? How do you play these? On begin play again. Create media player. Source. Open source. What? Sorry, it's open source. Open source. Nice. Did that come before the media player? Surely it's create media player. Maybe just open source. And we want which ones? I'm gonna look this up. Play media on begin play. Oh, that's not useful. Oh, it's just open source. Okay. And you got a media player as the target. Got you. Yeah, let me show you the Instagram post that got me into this. It's like a guy, you've probably seen it if you're into this stuff, but it's like a guy who was like flying it around like into like restaurants and like down streets and things. That's always so cool. Showed it in the stream last week. Let's see. Yeah. This guy, FPV vegan. I love the look of this one as well, with discoloration and everything. But yeah, this guy FPV vegan, he's flying around, just around people and stuff is just awesome. Oh. I was kind of studying this, and you can see the tiny movements of the fingers. It's all super subtle, and not very much accelerating upwards. It's about your angles and stuff. Super nice. Tiny whoop. Yeah, I love that stuff. So yeah, I was like, why don't I make a digital one of those for viewing on an immersive in a dome in a headset? Not sure why, just think it's quite cool. Quite a cool thing to try and do. So what were my sources? Uh, I'll find out here. Here. So that one and that one. Static 2 and VHS 20 seconds. And Static 2 is the one I want for Media Player 1. That's right. Static 2 and then 26. Cool. And then this is Media Player 1. This is number 2. Okay, cool. So those should open whether I have this window open or not now. Yeah. Alright, I just gotta unplug my keyboard to use the drone. Nice. Okay. Oh no. Oh, I wanted to go full screen. Cool. run out of USB slots. So if I want the mic in. Nice. I need to swap them over. Cine Whoop is better because you wanted the GoPro footage. Oh, so it has a GoPro attached, does it? That's cool. But yeah, I've been learning about the subtle movements. You know, when you first get using this, you're like, why when I press forward does it go forward so much? So I'm learning like, you know, pulling up instead of uh using the decrease and increase fans. Because the fans are always running. Just depends what angle you go at, you know. Yeah, it'd be interesting to hear how similar you think this might be to actually using a real drone. It's good to have a real drone user on the stream, actually. Um, the mount related to distance from the pilot. What do you mean by that? What's the amount? Oh, the amount related to. Oh, yeah, the feedback as you get further away. Yeah, so true, so true. Yeah, I've been enjoying this kind of. Oh, no, 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 no. This kind of test level. Um, good for learning. Good for learning. Yeah, I think when you add the VHS effect, right, it kind of takes away the CG of it all, you know. But yeah, the movement's realistic. I think it is, you know. Um, which is why I was like, oh, I need to get this plugin because there's like a lot of other drone tutorials out there. It's like it's not really. It needed to like go mental with the noise then. That would have been cool. Like whenever you bang into anything. But yeah, the movement's good. I think it's like maybe got some settings that are slightly different to that tiny whoop guy or the YouTuber or whoever was doing it. Because like I don't know, maybe I'm just flying it slightly differently, but it doesn't feel exactly the same. But surely this is so good for learning. You know, you don't end up breaking breaking a million drones, spending 100 quid every time you crash. Multi-path thing where you get reflection of a wall, ghosting. Yeah, yeah, true. Definitely. Whoa. Quite like when the glitch accidentally syncs up with you crashing into something. It's quite good. Um, I might not quite have time to set that up. Let's see if we could at least start setting up this like glitch when you crash. Yeah, there is an acro mode as well. Yeah, which I'm not very good at. It's crazy. Oh, did he switch between the two in the video, you think? Yeah, I've kind of tried to do a bit of the kind of ghosting on the edges of things with like a kind of sharpen filter. So I sort of figured, but like definitely like a more pronounced or like something else going on there. But I've got yeah, got this like sharpen. It's just like how many layers of crud are over this. But yeah, this sharpening the edges I think is cool, and you can kind of make that bigger, which is interesting. Size. So that is that. But yeah, it needs more than just that going on. But yeah, I do quite like this one that's just like a noise pattern, but just set to really zoomed in, or like really small scale. So like it's bigger, or not that. This is the offset. So yeah, so it's more of like a general kind of noisy pattern. When you make that number really small, it's like those cubes are huge. So yeah, the random is cool. It's close, but I'm just seeing like from watching like back rooms and things like that. It's like I just want to nail it so well because it can make it look super realistic, you know. But part of the way there for sure. Yeah. So maybe as a first stage, because I'm gonna have to go soon, but we could try and do just something to trigger when you crash into something. So putting a box around the whole thing, I guess. Oops. Around the mesh. Can't do that. Well, that's probably a good place for the box. And then I guess just like on collision. Print string. Let's do that. Crash. Surely it's like that simple in the start of it. Oh, nice. Yeah, that's really cool. If there's like stuff in between. Yeah, that's such a good point. I love that. Okay, so it already said crash. So maybe the box is too big. But can I get out of this? Let's see. Just gotta switch over again. Maybe we just give the drone an actual mesh itself and say when it overlaps anything, say crash. I'll say crash fired once. Oh yeah, maybe it should ignore itself. And an end overlap reset perhaps. Let's see. So let's drag this in anyway to see what the size of the box is. Yes, okay, fine. That's cool. Size wise, I don't actually know how big the drone is because it's like hidden. Why is it hidden? If we go here, I guess it doesn't really have a mesh, static mesh. Oh, we got a none here, so let's give it a mesh. Okay, it's tiny. So let's just say maybe just when something actually hits this mesh. Collision overlap. And just make the other actor static mesh. Or equal to static mesh. Can't just do that. Get actor of class. Oh, yeah, see that's what that is what the default was in the first mode, but I was like I didn't like that as much. I didn't like that as much. But maybe I need to learn to. Maybe I need to learn to do that. Let's just see what this does. But yeah, it's pretty good. It lets you switch those modes. Okay. No, still not printing that crash. Okay, interesting. Let's see. Begin overlap. Cool. Yeah, I do have to go now, but thanks for keeping me company for this one. Pretty cool. I'll figure out this other actor thing. I feel like yeah, definitely do this crash. Let's figure that out for next time. There might be some more features with the 360 cam to share as well, but thanks for joining on this kind of FPV journey. It's been really fun. We'll see where we get to with it. See if we can get to rendering as well. Yeah, nice one. Good to see you guys. Have a good one.